Alright, so in today's video we will be showing you guys how to properly set up an aquarium for the betta fish. So today we are starting with a 10-gallon aquarium with planted tank substrate already inside the tank. To set up the planted tank substrate, you want to have it more towards the back so that it builds depth in your aquarium. Just makes the scape as a whole look better. Then for live plants, we have just one for now, just in the bucket back there. They get really big, leafy, bright green. Looks really great. I've kept these plants in the past. Right in front of that, we have the stuff for the water treatment. The first one there, that is for tap water purification. That one there is to help boost the tank's cycle. Then for decorations, we have some larger rocks in the front, and then smaller and medium rocks in the back, as well as this driftwood here, and then just some fake plants to take up room, give the betta nice places to hide for the time being, until I can go through and actually properly plant out the tank. Just right now I don't have the time to go to a store and buy the live plants. So this will be a complete guide on how to set up and care for your betta fish. I hope you guys find this useful, and subscribe for more. So now the next step in setting up your aquarium is doing the hardscape first. That consists of the rocks and the driftwood as well as the fake plants. We can work in the live plants and the smaller rocks afterwards. So you can see the soil is already in the tank, and it is kind of arched towards the back, over there and over there. My goal is to hide the input of the filter as well as the heater with these taller green live plants right here, and as well as making it a nice place for the betta to hide and just swim around and live its best life. So first we'll be adding this nice white looking rock towards the middle section of the tank right here. Make sure that it's in there good so it doesn't fall over. Don't want any damage to the tank. But around that, we'll just take some of these smaller rocks. Probably just prop those around. Sorry if you guys hear any background noise. It's my other fish tanks in the room. More videos will be coming out on those shortly, being as I have a lot of time on my hands currently due to the fact that school has been canceled due to the coronavirus. Next, we will be adding this nice piece of driftwood. It's quite wet. It just came out of my Oscar tank. Those guys are really neat. Get quite large. So that'll kind of go a little bit of a underpassage there. Eventually, this tank will be filled with other fish as well. Bettas can actually live quite well in community aquariums. So stuff like Plecostomus, or just plecos as they're normally called, corridor catfish, even like African dwarf frogs work quite well. You can also get away with stuff like minnows or whatever, or not minnows, sorry, guppies, small tetras and stuff. Just nothing that'll make the betta flare up or see it as a threat. So stuff like gouramis and angelfish are not good because they're big, colorful. Just like the betta, they're pretty like dominant in the tank. So they might pick fights with the betta. They're faster, they're stronger, and they might stress the betta out, causing it to flare up. So it's better to just stick with very small, like I guess microfish they're called, so that they don't mess with the betta too much, and just keep it fairly simple. I'm gonna finish setting up this tank, fill it with water, and then I'll catch up with you guys then, explain what I did, give more of the basic information for bettas. Alright, so this is about the halfway point of filling up the aquarium. So you can see I still have to add a few live plant. That'll be going right behind that arch of the wood there. I decided to add a few more of the fake plants. I think this is full for decorations now. I'm not going to add this rock with that plant there. Save those for other scapes. I feel like this tank looks really good. Something to keep in mind when setting up your aquarium is the soil actually moves a fair bit when you're adding the water in. The rock, that stuff back there, all started to move around as I was adding in the water. Just be careful when you're doing that, to be aware that your scape will change as you're adding the water. So plan ahead for that. Be prepared to move stuff around as need be. Alright, so as you can see, the tank is finished. Put the lid on, finished filling it with water. I added the live plant right at the back there. You can kind of see it. It's not really out right now, but the betta fish is hiding right behind the live plant. There he is, just settling into his new house. I'll make an update video on the betta tank shortly, probably within the next week here. As soon as I add more tank mates to the tank, there'll be a new video on it. So this is the actual information part of the video. So the temperature that you want to keep your betta fish at, you need to heat the tank between 78 and 82 degrees Celsius. I've set the heater in this tank to heat the tank to around 80 degrees so they can fluctuate either upwards or downwards and it won't truly affect the betta's health. Depending on whether or not it's a hot day, cold day, or whatever, the betta will still be comfortable in the tank. For the size of the tanks themselves, those smaller tanks that you buy at the stores or whatever can work for the betta as long as they are filtered and heated accordingly so that the betta fish is still heated to the right temperature as well as the water's being turned over. For filters, betta fish and all tanks for that matter need to be heated, or sorry, not heated, filtered. So when choosing a filter for your tank, the filter should be able to suck up and spit out all the water in your aquarium twice per hour. So in this 10-gallon tank here, I have a 20-gallon per hour filter on it, so it's cycling the water twice per hour. And for stuff like tank mates, bettas can indeed live in a community aquarium. They like to live with tank mates. It just has to be very specific tank mates. So like I said earlier, stuff like angelfish and gouramis are not good ideas. But some options that you could have are Corydoras catfish or cory cats. Those are probably the best option because they're very lively, very friendly, won't compete for food too much. They'll stay towards the bottom of the tank as your betta inhabits the top proportions. And other stuff are like plecos to suck off algae or whatever. Clown loaches, smaller loaches like coolie loaches and stuff like that. Those are good. And even African dwarf frogs. I've kept this betta here with African dwarf frogs in the past. They're quite interesting little creatures and they'll be fine in a tank like this. And then for other stuff towards the top water of the tank, you can have smaller schooling fish that won't fin nip, such as like neon tetras or similar tetras, like lemon, amber, or black neon tetras will be fine. Just keep them in proper schools so they don't get too like interested in the betta, so they don't like fin nip and stuff. There's always a chance that some of the faster, smaller tetras will nip at the betta's fins, so just be aware of that. And another option that you could probably do are like fancy guppies. There's a chance that the betta will flare up at the guppies that get larger tails, but guppies are relatively fast, so they should be fine in the end. And a good other tank bait is snails. Snails won't compete for the betta, or won't compete for the betta's food at all, and the betta won't be able to pick at the snail, do the shell. So I hope that information was what you guys were looking for. I hope it was worthwhile. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you don't mind leaving a like and subscribing, that would be awesome. See you guys in the next video.